the bottom left, in the red, the former teammates, it is Cure. His opponent in the upper right, in the blue, opting for a bit of an early pool here in this first game of our series, Dark. Man, Dragon Kites Gaming, they need to come up with something that is a little bit easier to say. You know, Dragon Phoenix Gaming, I guess that was also rough. We just got used to it. I don't know, though. Dragon Kites Gaming just does not have a ring to it. And apparently it is not their final name. They're going to be going for something that is maybe a little bit more something. This is just the immediate, we are merging Dragon Phoenix Gaming and Kites Gaming. We're going to put them together. And it's going to be Dragon Kites Gaming, and it is going to dominate the WTL. Well, maybe. Because Abydos, Kings of the Dead region. We have Basilisk. We have others. I'm sure there are others that I'm forgetting about. And again, I'm not sure what Cure's status is, because if you notice, he's rocking the Team NV clan tag. Right, we can see that. But he's playing for Abydos, and it's not quite clear whether Team NV exists or not, but that has also been true for like the last year or so, as this is going to be a 19 drone Roach Ravager timing coming out of Dark. So you pretty much, you saturate one base, one gas, one base. 16 drones on minerals, three drones on gas. So that gets you up to 19 workers. You run Lings across to be a little annoying, as we can see that's happening right now. But then you run across, you get 6 or 7 roaches. You slowly turn them into Ravagers, because realistically, one gas is not a lot of gas. Not when a Ravager costs as much as a Muta, but you can slowly build them out and put some pressure on. So the Lings are going to try to now delay this command center, and they're actually going to be successful. The Reaper's spending so much time just dealing with the Lings in the front that, well, he misses the second two that try to find their way in. So Oliveira does have his natural delayed, but it won't be delayed enough, and the natural will complete, which is probably the most important component of the hold here that Oliveira, or not Oliveira, I'm sorry, that's the next series that Cure is going to be looking for, because well, you're not going to lose the command center. And there we go. That's a great scout. Cure now aware that there are roaches as well. Bunker up on the way on the high ground, as the SCV gets body blocked by the Marines a little bit. But in general, you get a bunker on the high ground. You get Cyclones on the way. Eventually, maybe a Banshee, because, well, why not? Banshees are very good against this. And I don't know how much this gets done from Dark. Now, he's still going to commit some, but he's already got speed on the way, which means a Ravager count is not going to increase nearly as much. As that's a great KDA charge. It may not seem like a lot. It bought 1 second, half a second, but when that is the difference between your bunker completing or not, well, it actually is pretty damn significant here, as another SCV will go down, a bit obnoxious, and the Cyclone locks on the Overlord first, which is incredibly important, right? You want that so Overlord to go down, no high ground vision. Roaches are going to have to commit. So there we go. Overlord is dead. Dark is supply blocked. One roach will already go down. And this really should be the end of that. Now, Roach runs away from the lock-on, but there's healing here. There's a Cyclone. There are Marines. Lock-on on the Ravager as well, which is, again, the most expensive unit. And Dark loses everything. This was just not effective for Dark in the slightest. And now with Dark, he's going to try to get a third base, but there is not a world where this third base goes up when it would like to. And we're going to see, it's not going to be a supply block, but it might as well be 53 out of 60. When Dark builds more units, it will be. Well, I mean, isn't that how always that happens? Regardless, 2 Cyclones, 6-7 Marines is a pretty fundamental problem. But the Ling counterattack on the other side, this is where life gets a little bit dicey coming out of Cure. He's on the other side. He's got this great army that Dark can realistically not deal with, but Lings are going to find their way into the main on the other side. So yeah, you know, Overlords are going down. Supply blocking Dark pretty heavily here. The Lings are just not going to get it. Actually, hold that thought. They do get a Cyclone as the Queens, they continue to run away. 7 SCVs have gone down. Drones are going to have to get pulled here. And oh man, the medevac staying alive for so damn long. Queen's transfuses are doing pretty well. Actually, not a single Queen's going to go down thus far. And Oliveira, sorry, Cure is gonna lose everything. He denies the third base, he gets some overlords, but he only gets about 3 workers. Not a single queen falls. And this is a fantastic start, or a fantastic response, I guess, coming in from Dark. It's still not the best situation, right? You know, he does not have a third. He committed to this heavily and lost every single roach from the start. But now he's got a bit better of an opportunity. He's feeling a little more comfortable in this game. But of course, Cure is expanding now. He's got his third base on the way. Banshees are going to run across. Dark, well, luckily for him, I don't know how lucky it is, but oh man, Lings find their way in once again. And this time it's just because the supply depot was down. That is kind of unacceptable. And they're going to find their way into the main base as well. So SCVs, they're going to get locked out. Lings in the main. They're going to get a couple more here as the Hellions hastily beat a retreat. And even still, 4 more SCVs go down. Grand total of, what is that, 10? 13. So Dark making a miracle out of a, I don't know, we could say mountain out of a molehill, making a bag of grain out of a bunch of weevils. I don't know. Making a game out of one that was not a game, yeah, sure. But for now, Dark's kind of stabilized. His worker count is not incredible, sure, but he knows Cure's taking that third base, so Cure's not going to be doing anything for a while, and Cure very easily could be 10, 12 workers up at this point, based on the pressure that he put on, based on how ineffective Dark's positioning was, Dark's aggression was, and also that third base is so low. So the fact that Dark has just any position in this game is kind of impressive, even as we do acknowledge that Cure will continue to grow, and I don't know that he's taken enough damage to say that Dark is ahead of this game. Certainly not, but the game is not over. And the way this started, that's a victory in and of itself. So for now, the Hellions, they're going to dive forward. And notice, because the Overlords were killed earlier, we don't have Overlords past the edge of creep, which means that in this game state where Marines are not pushing yet, you're not worried about losing those Overlords. The Queens don't quite know where they need to go to make sure that the creep is defended. And that means Cure, well, he gets another round. Knocks the creep just a little bit further back. And Dark, he did get that link speed, and I kind of thought he was going to transition into some sort of Ling Bane behind that, but it seems like that is not the case. Instead, Dark, 1-1 range. He's going to really heavily upgrade these roaches. It remains to be seen whether he commits to this 1-1 Roach Ravager idea, or whether he wants to go for something a little bit further on. Get a quick Hydra Den after this, get into Lurkers, get that just really powerful 2-2 timing. But for now, seems like we're just going to get a lot of roaches, a lot of 1-1, and it's something that, in fairness, he has to do. He's gotten roaches, and yes, he has been droning it pretty heavily behind us, but he's gotten roaches, and he's down 25 army supply. And the Banshees are going to continue to punish the economy that Dark has sorely bought for himself. 4 more workers go down. Banshees are going to, I mean, shell away at the Roach Warden. Fine, I don't think that's going to do all that much, but it is distracting. It does force Dark to react. And now Queens are starting to go down because we do not have an Overseer here just yet, but now Banshee's getting very low. 1 should fall. Nice transfuses there from Dark. And he will defend the pressure, but now 1-1 is done. And there's going to be a 20-odd second window where the Marines of Cure are just going to be so much better than the Roaches of Dark. But it seems like he's not going to hit that timing. Cure was not set up for it. He was not banking on 1-1. He was not pushing out on 1-1. And actually, this is going to be pretty nice for Dark here, because now Dark's going to be able to get into his 2-2 very quickly, and Cure's forgot his armory. So, you know, any advantage that Cure had on upgrades is not going to be really as big anymore, and now the upgrades are done. Pathogen Glands on the way as well. So Dark, well, Dark is the master of the Infestor. I would argue that Dark uses Infestors better than any other Zerg on the planet. And I know Cyril, he'll go and he'll neural EMP some ghosts, and one of the hallmarks of his late game ZVT is random burrowed Infestors all over the place. But that's kind of the extent of it, right? These awesome these awesome Infestor EMP combos, maybe unburrow for a fungal or something. Dark will go, and Dark will neural disruptors to, you know, to try to blow up his opponent's Protoss army. He'll win a late game by fungled SCV harass. Like, Dark's Infestor control is just second to none. But he does have to be very careful of this push coming in as the Bio's going to stem forward. The tanks are now sieged. Bio's on one tank, but they will not kill it. And Dark, it really just feels like he has got to give this position up. There is too much Bio right here. And the tanks continue to siege up once again. Fourth base is dead. Dark just gives that up. He's waiting for the Infestors. He desperately needs them. If he can land some good fungal Bio combos, I mean, that's a way to do it. But this army from Cure just feels prohibitively large. He's just going to stim on top before the Infestors are ready. And now, well, what the hell are you going to do? Queens are going to run forward, but Dark's army is evaporating. He does not have his upgrades. He does not have the supply that he needs. And eventually he's going to have to pick up and run away. But that was so damn cost effective coming out of Dark at this point. And now the Roaches, they're not even getting on top of the tanks. 3, 4, 5 shots. And the Marines, they're going to drop on top of the Ravagers. Now, Fungals are fantastic, but they're still not dying here. More Roaches, they continue to find their way in, but the reinforcements from Cure will start to arrive. A second set of Fungals, sure, fine. And the medevacs are falling as well, but there is just nothing left for Dark here. The Marines are going to have to stem forward once again. There are no Infestors anymore, at least nothing with energy. So no Fungals, nothing else. And yeah, 2-2's on the way. It's not going to matter in this game. Cure stems forward. Dark has, this is all down to the start of this game, realistically, but Dark has fallen. There is no game left for him anymore as the Queens continue to fall. And yeah, even if Dark cleans this up, he's lost too much. And even that 2-2 timing we were talking about. Wow, you know, Dark, he's going to have 2-2 and he's going to have this upgrade lead. Well, Cure's 2-2 is done in 15 seconds. He just has to hold on, put a pause on the aggression for like half a second. And he's going to be okay. But now we're really getting into the thick of things here for Cure's setup. He's got concussive shells just about done. Fourth base on the way. In fact, planetary is just about done. Knocking down a ton of creep. Bio on the right side should knock this fifth base down. Or actually, no, that's just the fourth. Dark never expanded on the left side, so fourth base is going to fall. And that should do it. Dark is one of the best, if not the best, player in the world at dealing with a low eco state. But and in fairness to him, his supply has recovered. It's 162. He's ahead in army supply a little bit. So from every perspective, I don't know that he's going to need it, but Cure's going into Ghosts. And, you know, normally you might say, wow, the Zerg's on mid-game tech. Why would you go Ghosts? It's actually bad if you do that. But against Roaches, when they are so supply inefficient, actually it's pretty great. Going a bunch of Ghosts against Mass Ling actually does not feel all that great. The Ghosts just don't do enough DPS. They do a lot of damage per shot, but they don't do enough DPS. But when we're looking at Ravagers, where Ravagers are 3 supply a unit, and Roaches are 2 supply, while actually adding a Ghost is just really nice. You just one-shot so much stuff. Spam the snipe on top of everything. But Dark's looking for a bit of a surround here. He's got one Infestor that's trying to find his way forward. Fungal on the left side, but not the right, and Dark is just dead. All flows down from the early game. Dark did a great job of making sure he didn't die, but there's a difference between living and not dying, and that puts Cure up 1 game here in the semifinals. In the bottom right, in the red, he held on, got the perfect scout, and just steamrolled his opponent from there on out. It's Cure. And the upper left, fighting and striving to take us to a game number 3. It's Dark. And I am so surprised to not see a T-Rex here from Cure. Cure seems to just hate Gressvan. I don't know what it is. Maybe he just doesn't like big maps, but it feels like more often than not we see a proxy coming out of him on this map. We see generally a T-Rex coming out of Cure on this map, but not this game. Maybe because he's got a lead, maybe because he's up 1-0 in this series, and I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't want to be too predictable, regardless of what it is. Cure's up 1, and he's not proxy 2-rexing on this map. So Dark is scouting for it, by the way. We saw him, you know, look around the left, look around the right. And part of it is that it's just kind of modern scouting patterns, but he is aware of Cure's sick and twisted proclivities on this map. I mean, geez, Terran's 2-raxing, 3-raxing. I swear I never lose. I never see it lose in competitive settings. It's just so broken. Or something like that. But for now, no. It's going to be a Reaper expand, SCV scout to start. Cure making extra sure that this is not going to be some sort of 12 pool, 15 pool, something like that. He's going to see the timing of the hatch, and that's all this SCV needs to see. But while you're there, might as well hang around and deny the third base for a while. And man, this is just so obnoxious as a Terran player, where you're just like, all right, as a Zerg player, where you just are not allowed to take a base. Now, on Gresfon, oh, the Reaper's not going to get there in time. Man, if you're able to get, if this is a smaller map, the Reaper gets there. I mean, it's not game over, but it feels like it is, because you can't take either base, and it's just, the Lings can't go out there and defend because the Reaper out micros them so heavily. Queen takes forever to waddle, and it forces you into just a really awkward expand timing. Your Queens then don't come out the proper way, and it's just, it feels bad. But that's not going to happen for Cure. He's not going to be able to have that nice of a deny. And the powerful play will just go on. And behind this, I know at the start of the game, I talked about how Cure is this player who, he likes 2-raxing on this map for whatever reason. We don't quite know, but whatever it is, he likes 2-raxing on this map. But that is Cure. Cure is a dichotomous player. Not dichotomous Earth. He does not dehydrate ants. I don't know. Maybe he does. Or Zerg ants. And if he wins, does he dehydrate them? But regardless, he is either the player that's going to go all in. He's going to go for 2-racks. He's going to go for 3-racks. He's going to go for Hellbat Marauder. Or he does the polar opposite and he goes 3CC as quick as possible. There really is not much of an in-between for what Cure does. It's, again, heavy aggression or as greedy as possible. As greedy as possible. Let me put my fist in frame. There really is no other option. So for this time, well, it's going to be 3CC Hellion Banshee, which I don't think should surprise anyone. He's going to get a drone for his trouble, or not, actually. No, he's not going to commit to it, and Dark's going to be able to keep his workers alive. Looks like Dark did sacrifice an Overlord, I think. Oh, no. Dark just, okay, he spore canceled, and the Overlords were popping, just not quite in time. But look at this. So Dark has been known as a Roach Boy for quite a while now. He loves getting lots of those big beefy units across the map, hitting these timings, and even, well, going 1-1 Roach into 2-2 Hydra Lurker, and just getting those really, really quick splash +2 upgrades. But I'm surprised to see Dark do it 2 games in a row. And that we have this Roach Warren going down. I don't know, Dark has not, what has Dark seen? Nothing. He has seen absolutely nothing on the map. So, well, actually, he's going to get a Ling in the natural. Now he's going to see the Banshee. That's something. But maybe he's worried of a second level of like a Hellbat push coming out of Cure. He's certainly not building Roaches right now. But anyway, he's going the Roaches is not going to keep Dark safe because there's nothing to keep Dark safe from. There are no monsters under the bed or in the closet. Don't worry, honey, I've checked twice. Or something like that. But it seems like, at the very least, it costs you 200 minerals, right? It's 150 for the Roach Warren. It's another 50 for the drone, maybe a little bit more for opportunity cost. But realistically, you know, there's not a lot here. So we're going to have to see whether he does actually commit to that one. He does have Ling speed, so he's not guaranteed to commit to the Roaches, as one Queen gets pretty low, but now retreats back to the Spore and stays alive. So Banshees are, oh, they might get another one, though. All these Queens are very low. 4 Queens in the front, 3 in the main, 7 in total. So Dark is not playing he's not playing the Rainer style, and it seems like this Roach Warren was just for safety, or maybe for fake out, because, well, there is no, we have a Baneling Nest on the way. We don't, well, okay, no, maybe not. just going to be Roach, Ravagerling, Bane, Quick Infestation Pit. So very quick hive on this game coming in from Dark, which is a play he likes to do on the bigger maps, the maps where he's able to actually just kind of stay safe and not be super worried about the pressure from the Terran because, well, let me tell you about the Church of the Adrenal Glands and Vipers. But really, it seems like it is Adrenal because Adrenal is effectively +3 attack for Lings. Now, obviously, it does not help the Banes. That's fine. But what it does do is it means your Lings are feisty as hell and at a timing where they might have 1-1. Because normally when this happens, Dark starts his hive when he is like halfway through his 1-1 upgrades. You might have these 1-1 melee units, but your Lings are effectively +4 and they shred. It makes such a difference. And there we go. Very quick hive getting started at the same time Baneling speed is on the way. Which is just, I don't understand it. I actually, when I was leading up to Katowice, I was talking to multiple pros. I'm like, hey, is this a thing? You know, like Dark's been doing this a lot, and or I talked to Scarlett about it, and she just kind of looked at me like I was funny. She's like, Bale, what are you talking about? Like, that's not really a thing. I'm like, well, Dark's done it like every game leading up to Katowice, so either it's a Dark thing, I don't know. But anyways, hive halfway done, 1-1 just about complete, Baneling speed halfway there. And of course, that's the timing. If you're Dark that you're really waiting on, you want that, you want Baneling speed. 1-1 is nice, sure, fine, but to defend against the bio push, to defend against the push in general, it is all about those Banelings that can then roll forward and actually get on top of the Marines, not get targeted down. You trade so excessively more cost effectively that it really just makes such a significant difference. But for now, 1-1 is done. Baneling speed's done in 10 seconds. Do we have any Banelings on the map? Okay, 13 of them. Oh, and by the way, hive's done. 8 minutes into this game. When Dark has the money for Adrenal, as he does right now, we should see Adrenal get started pretty soon as well. There we go. So, again, this is going to be, this 2-2 Adrenal timing is insane. It doesn't feel like it should ever be possible when it is, but now the Lings are going to run forward, trying to get on top of the back lines of the army. Banelings come crashing forward, but the tanks on the high ground and the Hellbats do such a good job of warding off the Lings as they run around, and the Banelings, well, they just never make the connections they're looking for. Now Cure rotates onto the left side. If he can't really find his way on into the fourth, maybe he can delay the fifth. So for now, creep spread is going to get delayed. But if you're a fan of Cure, you're not happy because there are like 4 blinding clouds available out of these Vipers right now, and they're going to come in from a different angle. In fact, Dark is getting ready to move in from multiple angles here. The tank spread is good, but blinding clouds are going to shut down so many of them. Only 2 tanks firing right now, and that actually is just all that's going to be knocked down. 1 tank firing, but it's going to get jumped on top of. And the Marines now, they come running and fleeing, but the Lings are going to continue to swallow them whole. And even with 1-1, well, it's not like the bio has their upgrades just yet. In fact, it's an anti-timing. 2-2 completes as this fight is over. Dark sweeps Cure from the map. And now, well, 2-2 is just about done. Adrenal glands are done. And this army that Dark has built for himself is, it's going to take a little bit longer for Cure to be able to counter it. He needs more splash damage, ideally Widow Mines, realistically, but he's just skipping that going into Ghost Academy. And this gives Dark so much room on the map now. He can do whatever he wants. He's going to take the bottom left or the bottom left base. Wouldn't even be surprised to see him take the 12 o'clock or the 11 o'clock base as well. But maybe he doesn't have creep spread there, so okay. Maybe he wants to establish creep a little bit further forward, as the Banshees are actually the most obnoxious part of this army because there is literally no anti-air. So it's going to force Dark into a bit of an attack. Blinding clouds on the tanks on the back line. Got to get that last one. The Vipers, one of them will fall. Second one is going to barely stay alive until the Vikings knock it down. Love those Vikings. They make it so much harder for Dark to make this break happen. And the Concave is just dominating everything that Dark has. Yeah, Cure supply blocked, but that tank spread, the Banshees on the high ground, the Vipers denying these Vipers from doing anything is actually just so nice here. Bile's going to actually get one of the Banshees. Unfortunate, but the Bio continues to trace on forward. Cure's got to dodge that. He doesn't, loses 2 more Marauders, so it's so hard to chase this. And Cure is going to have to back up. but he does hold on, and his reinforcements will start to rally across. And as good as that initial fight was around Dark's 5th base-ish, losing those Vipers, losing so much of what he had, it cannot feel good. Here comes Dark, really coming in from one side now. Tanks in the backline are really nice. Banelings, they continue to find their way forward, and just a couple lings from the left side means that Cure does have to give this position up, but the Banshee's still here. The Banshee's actually worth so much. How many kills did this Banshee? 16 kills on the Banshee. It is... No one expects the late game Banshee. Absolutely no one expects the late game Banshee. But for now, Cure, he's got Liberators in this army, so he's got much more space denial, much more area denial in this game compared to what he had earlier on. So the tanks by themselves, yeah, they can get jumped upon, but the Liberators make life just a little bit more difficult, and files are actually going to be really nice. Knocking a tank down, knocking a Liberator down. But Cure continues the hard push. And while Dark has a lot of money on the way, right? He's mining almost 4,000 minerals a minute. He's not building up that bank that you want at this point in the game. And I don't know how I feel about the Ultras. Yeah, they've been buffed. Yeah, they're smaller. They're pretty much the size of a Ravager now. But Ghosts are on the field. And while, yes, you can run away from Ghosts now, by far the biggest change, at least from my perspective, the most impactful change for late game TVZ that we had in the patch. It makes this matchup so much more dynamic. Regardless, Ghosts are still pretty damn good against Ultras as the Lings are going to run forward here. Any surround from the backside looks like it's no. It's a full frontal coming in from Dark. Tanks are just tanking everything, even as the shots go down. Ultras have to run, and while none of them will go down, they get pretty low. And Cure just takes this opportunity. How many Banelings? One Baneling on the map. Lings are going to have to run forward here. But it's just not a great fight coming in from Dark. He loses more Ultras. The Banelings, or the Banshees, excuse me. Well, that Ultra will not fall, but this Banshee is just so impactful. And the hard push coming in from Cure just continues to find the value at once. And remember, this is a game where Cure is up a game. If he wins this, he moves on to the finals as the Ultras, they're going to run forward, trying to break this, and they're not dying just yet. The Ghosts do not have their snipes. One will fall, but the tanks go down, Liberators as well. So Dark breaks some of the tech here of Cure, but this inevitable bio ball does so much. The Ultras continue to fall down, and resources lost is just starting to tell a horrifying story. It's 10,000s in the good for Cure, but he does have to back up a little bit. Can't overextend. This bio is pretty damn in the red. It's pretty damn in the orange. He's fighting into Ultras like this is still hard. But Dark's bank is just absolutely shot. What bank? He's got 100 gas, 200 minerals. He's not able to max out on top of it, but he's just fighting like hell to stay in this game. Great target fire on the Banes, but a couple, well, they're going to make connections because the bio had to stay stationary to knock those down. That means Ultras actually got the connections that they wanted, and now Cure has to well and truly give this position up and run away. We heard Ghosts falling, Marauders are falling, and all of a sudden it's Dark that has the momentum. I'm this push me, pull you, this ebb and flow in the game, even as an Ultra falls. He has to force Cure. Cure is forced to give the position up, and it's all because Cure had a decision to make. Did he target the Banelings down, or did he run away from the Ultras? He couldn't do both. He tried to target the Banelings down, and the Ultras got on top of that bio ball against the wall, and that really he had to pick up there. But I don't think he quite realized. So Dark shoves Cure back, and now, well, yeah, Cure is taking his his 6th base. But he loses that pushing position. Dark now, he's got 7 bases. He can start to expand even more. Maybe take the 7 o'clock base on the bottom side. And even more importantly than that, he can start to go and get that creep spread up again. He can start to max out again, start to redevelop that bank, even as Cure is literally mining almost 5,000 minerals a minute. Thank you, Mulehammer. You are fair and balanced. But regardless, we do have Cure transitioning into that true late game Maru-esque biomech. So, well, hold that thought here because Lings and Ultras actually hitting in 2 fronts. This is where it gets scary for the Terran. If the Terran is ever not aggressive, the way that Cure is playing, the way that Dark is playing, you're going to find tons of pressure on multiple bases. So Ultras, they get on top of the planetary. 29 SCVs have gone down. Cure's going to lose the outlying base, loses position on this third base that realistically is important because of the orbital more than anything else. Now, the Ultras do have to run away, and they will not be able to do so. So, a bit expensive for Dark at the end of things, but he breaks a base. And while that's not as impactful as it could have been, because Cure has, what's the count? 4 orbitals, and then it's not showing right now because they're all in production, but 4 orbitals and 3 more command centers on the way. Even still, slowing down Cure's economy, slowing down Cure's economy as much as possible. It is nice because while Cure is mining 5,000 minerals a minute, he is still not able to build that bank. Neither player is, because this game has just been constant trading. Over and over and over again. No one's allowed to really sit back and be happy. And Dark's doing a Ling drop. Okay. 5 overlords, only 4 of them full, and he's going to try to find his way in the main. These are feisty Lings. They have crack. They have 3-3. Meanwhile, Ultras and Banes, they're going to find a planetary here. More STVs are going to go down. Snipes on the Ultra means that the planetary will stay alive, but it's Lings in the main that I am terrified of, as that, oh, the command center. Oh, you got to repair it here. Is there an STV in time? At 50, yeah, it's going to be okay, but Lings in the main base. Now the production's going to get camped. How much is this going to do? Meanwhile, here on the other side, he's going to have to he's got to find some level of commensurate damage because the map has been unlocked for Dark right now. So the Banelings, though, they're going to get morphed, and that should force enough of this back. Lings in the main base, though, they have not been dealt with. Barracks are going down. How many of them have died? 3 barracks have died in this game. The production now, and by the way, they're going to burrow up because that's even better. The production of Cure in this game has been not sent to the Stone Age. He's still on 5 racks. But his ability to reinforce is not anywhere near where it needs to be. And now we're true Dark late game, burrowing things everywhere. Infestors on the map. Fungals are going to be massive. Just what I was about to say. And this army from Cure gets knocked asunder. Every pressure, every little bit of position he wants on this game is now gone. He's got to take some time. He's got to resituate himself. But again, the moment you give Dark an inch, he takes an absolute, he takes a furlong. He takes a league. He takes also a mile, whatever's longer, right? He starts to, and he's blocking the base with the changeling. You love it. And now the Lings are going to find this. Some more SCVs will continue to fall. Cure, I would normally say, you know, I don't know how, I don't know that he's that unhappy about losing SCVs as long as he's above 45-50 because mules are a thing. But he's only on, what is that? Where's the orbital count? 6 orbitals is nice, but with how many burrows are being spent across the map here from Dark, you really do need that. So Lings in the natural, Lings in the main. Meanwhile, Cure pressing on the bottom side, so he's going to knock down a base at Dark. But is it going to matter here? And we got Infestors hiding away, so Dark, the moment he wants to do something, well, it's going to be even spicier. Neural down in 5 seconds. Only 7 ghosts on the map, but oh. We talked earlier about how Dark is perhaps the best Infestor player in the world. And now we get to see, we got some incredible fungals right as they were ready on the sneaky reveal, but Infestors are on the left side. Bare minimum, we should see a neural fungal. It's actually hard to see those ghosts because, of course, they're full energy bars. They have so much utility to them, but it does seem like Dark for now is going to give this up. Cure scans on the left side. He's aware of the danger that Infestors pose. So there is that. And now Dark rotates on over to the left side. Fungal's actually not going to be incredible, but big deal, of course, damage on the medevacs. Corruptors are going to run forward here, but Dark does not want to run through this field of death that Cure's been able to build for himself, because even though the supply is not there, I mean, his army supply is. Fungal goes down in a bunch of Marines, and they should get just slammed asunder. But you need more. It's going to have to be the slow burn now from Dark as he wants to take this position, because again, even as the economy of Cure is absolutely shot, he's down 33 workers. This army, this tank line of liberators and tanks and just area denial going back 2-3 screens. It's so hard for Dark to make a flank. He can't. So for now, he's going to lose another base. Now, granted, it is a base that has been mined out pretty significantly, and Dark actually spent some transfused money on that. I don't know how I feel about that one as the sneaky infestor. Skirting the scan. Oh, secret agent. Oh, it's dead. Never mind. Dark did not time that out properly. And now Cure has taken a base on the north side. So Cure's army is actually in a great spot here. So we're going to see a fungal. Yeah, no. Is there? Oh, scan was dropped last second. I thought there was maybe a missile turret, but here comes Dark moving in right now. The Ghosts have to just run away. There is not enough to deal with the Lings. The Ultras, sure, fine, you can snipe them down, but the Lings are just reigning supreme here. We talked about how Cure is starting to reestablish his position in the game. The Marines on the north side got to run away from there, and there just needs to be more splats, but the tanks are slow on the siege. The Banelings are not targeted down nearly as well as they would like to, and the Changeling, oh, the body block on the Changelings to make it so hard for the Marines to run away. And this actually is going to break the hell out of Cure's spine. Yes, Dark does have to back up, but he got an orbital. He got all of everything in Cure's third base. He got the tanks down. He got a bunch of ghosts. And the Changeling body block. I don't think I've seen a real-time Changeling body block before. Yeah, we've all seen, Changeling in the wall. Generally a Protoss because it's the walls are static, they're not supply depots. Yeah, Changeling in the wall, so you can't, so the so the reinforcement robo units can't go through or something. But dropping like 15 Changelings to body block the Marines so they can't run away as easily is just, it's genius. I have never seen that. That is so cool. And StarCraft is a 13-year-old game. So Dark now able to reestablish some of his real estate. He's got the bottom left. He's got the north side. No one's mining a ton at this point. I mean, realistically, even the base of the Dark has been able to reestablish have been pretty heavily mined out because, I mean, we're 22 minutes in on Gressvan. And I know someone pointed this out during Katowice. Maybe it was just the green room when we were talking, but Gressvan has given us some of the best games of Katowice and the best games of the follow-on. I mean, Barubian, Katowice group stage. Spirit Cure, Katowice play-ins. All over the place. Like, we've just had so many good games on this map, and this game is absolutely one of them. It's not quite Cure Dark when they went to a massive base trade, but honestly, I think this game, personally, yeah, it's a really technical base trade. Fine, that was awesome. I think this game is better. This game is a lot of fun, as now we're going to see Dark. He's got another Ling drop in the main. It's only 8 Lings this time, and he's gonna, well, Liberator does not defend this super well, but tanks do a pretty good job. So this one Ling is going to actually set the supply depot to burning, I think. Oh, no, never mind. And now we move into Broodlord play. Now we move into ranged Liberators and everything else. Thors. It's the big thing that Cure is missing right now, and he's missing it because he just does not have enough gas. Actually, he really needs to mine 3 out of 3 out of this this refinery. But, and yeah, he does not have enough gas here. He needs mech upgrades, mech armor upgrades. He's got +2 halfway done, but it just feels way too little, way too late, as now the Broodlords are starting to shell away in this position, which is a very, as nice as it is when your opponent is just a ground-based Terran, because you really start to dominate the position. There is a fantastic position that Broodlords can find where it is damn hard for the Terran to deal with. Yes, there are +3 Hellbats. They have, you know, they have Blue Flame. That's really nice. But they also die pretty quickly to the impact, as Ghost Snipes are going to try to go forward. No? Okay, one Broodlord will go down. Great Fungal on this army. Follow-up as well as the Broodlords continue to kite away here. And another Fungal? Another one? No, it's going to be forced to back up. And Dark wants to go. Oh, he senses opportunity, but I don't know that this is it. Not just yet. Snipes down on everything. Now, there we go. Neurals to break the Liberators. He's just going to siege up on the army of the Terran. And, oh, the creative use. Ling's coming in from the backside here. Ghosts are going to go down. And this, if there's anything that breaks Dark, this should do it. The Planetary is actually going to stay alive. Liberators are actually, they're back under Cure's. Well, actually, no, they're not, because the Liberators are still here, and the Thors are going to have to kill their brethren if they want to make anything happen. You just cannot enter that death zone. But Cure's still holding on. These Thors are doing a great job, and I was talking about how I thought if there was anything that would break Cure out of this game, it had to be this. And it may still be, because as good as that fight, well, I'm not even going to say it was good for Cure, but as promising as that was for Cure, he's still down 70 supply. Even if he has traded 11,000 resources better, he does not have the money right now. He's on 49 workers. The Hellbats are going to get swallowed whole. And Kira has just not been able to take the one more base. If he can take this base, if he can secure this north side base, we got another 10 minutes in this game. But I don't know that he can. I don't know that he has the army to both kill Dark's army and make sure he doesn't lose the base. Because realistically, both of those are win conditions. Kira loses his army, he can't resupply, he loses a base, that's going to be it. So Dark just takes a different angle. He knows that Kira is getting himself Fortress Terran on the north side, so he comes in through the bottom side. Lings spilling into the natural as Baylings and Ultras, they run right past the Liberators, and yeah, Ultras got to run away, but they are distracting Kira's army, and it's the production. There's another way to kill the Terran. You cut down on their ability to reinforce because they just have no production structures. A couple of factories are going to go down. How many factories do we even have on the map right now? It's 4 barracks, 3. Actually, that's not horrible. 4 barracks, 3 factory. Ultra's now going to try to get on top of this north side base because the Terran army is distracted by the Ling counterattack in the main, and actually Liberators are going to siege, but no, the base is dead. 22 more SCVs are going to go down. Ultras gladly trade their lives because, well, Dark has a functioning economy and Kira doesn't. Not at all. 26 SCVs, 100 minerals a minute, knurling up the tank to shell away. That is going to do it. Dark plays a banger of what a game 2. Dark plays an incredible game, and we got to see that. Again, he is better with knurls than anyone else in the world, and we got to see it right there. Dark ties the series up 1-1. We're going to game 3. In the upper left, in the red. He fell down in one of the best games of the year in game number 2. Let's see if he can haul it back. It's Cure. And his opponent, the master of the Infestor, it's Dark. And I was not kidding when I said that Dark is probably the best Infestor player in the world. And I understand that Cyril is one of those players that's very good at it. Raynor forgets Infestors exist. Raynor forgets about the Infestors. He refuses to use them. But Cyril is also very good at Infestor play. If we saw, for example, if you all saw the Pigsty tournament, which I'm so excited to get my hands on those replays and cast that Clem Cyril series. But you know, if you saw those games, you'll know that Cyril is very good at burrowing some Infestors, flanking from the side, popping up, getting the Funko, winning the game. Okay, fine. You know, or knurling one ghost, EMPing the rest of them so you can take the fight. Oh, okay, I mean, yeah. That's incredibly skilled. That's well done. But no one else in the world is knurling Liberators so you can run through their death zone and then turning them on the army and re-knurling them to add that little bit more damage, or knurling all the tanks so they fire on their own army. Like, there are discrete uses of Infestors. You knurl Thors because Thors are 3/3 Thors are the strongest unit in the game, or one of the strongest. You know, if they have a clump of Thors, it's damn hard to fight, so you turn them against each other. Right? That's a use. You know, you fungal bio, you neural and EMP ghosts. Those are discrete and figured out uses of Infestors. But like this, doing everything that Dark did is just so stupendously creative. And we also saw him, by the way, body blocked with a bunch of changelings. Blocked his army from running away so he could get his opponent's army from running away so he could get Bailey connections. Dark did not look good in Katowice. And I know he had the specter of military when he got back kind of hanging over his head. I talked to him after like the night I didn't get any sleep because everyone was hanging out, and I had to catch an Uber at like 3 in the morning to get my flight. But I went and hung out with the Pro Hotel for a little bit, and there were some Koreans there. So Dark was talking about how he would see everyone in 18 months. Like, he'd see everyone for Stormgate, but he didn't think he was going to be, he didn't think he was going to play competitive StarCraft again because the summons was that dire. But for now, So again, he didn't play very well. He looked very shaky against Creator, even if he did win. But it seems like maybe that fear has been alleviated. I don't know, but in the last 2-3 weeks, Dark has been playing like the Dark of old. And it is so much fun to watch. By the way, we got a TY211 coming out of Cure here. So you get 2 Hellions. You get your third base, but it is still a 2-1-1. And it's a minute slower, right? You move on the map at 5:30 instead of 4:30. But it can find value, not the least of which because it's a little bit harder for the Zerg to scout. They're more likely to see the third command center. They're going to see the Hellions on the map. And all of those things can kind of convince the Zerg that this is not going to be aggressive. And you might say, oh, but Bayo, it's only 2 Hellions. That should be the tell. A lot of Terrans will keep their Hellions back for quite a while. Until they have the wall done or sufficient Marines, a couple different reasons why, to make sure that they don't fall victim to run-bys, which, by the way, not in this series, but in the last series Cure and Dark played, Dark was doing that every single game. He was running out on the map with, I want to say, like 8, 12 Lings, something like that, right around the time the Hellions ran out. It was just not good. But anyway, yeah, so Dark has the scout. He's like, yep, third base. Great. 1-1-1. He doesn't see the second barracks. So I don't think he has the... Yeah, no, he definitely doesn't. Fourth base and a macro hash coming down at the same time. Absolutely no Lings on the map. He does not seem to have the read here. And yeah, he still has a little bit of time to build more Lings, but those were 9 drones, 11 drones on the map. He has to very quickly start to move into Lings here to make sure he can make this defense happen. And he's just not. Overlords, drones, 16 Marines and 2 medevacs. Stim is done in 5 seconds, or 15 Marines. He's missing 1. But there is no vision here. Curious cleaned up all the vision. Dark does not have any. This is going to catch him utterly and totally by surprise. 22 Lings are on the way right now. And the Queens, they have to run away. That would be the big prize. If 4 Queens went down, it'd be massive. By the bio now, Stim's on top of Creep. 1 Ling will go down here. How much damage can Cure get? Because he caught Cure. He caught Dark with his pants down. It's going to be a dead structure. Queens are not going to get targeted down. Lings are actually, they're filtering through the Queens. It's a bit of a SimCity problem here. 1 medevac will fall. And despite everything, and actually, wait, that was a lot of Marines in that medevac too. Despite everything, Dark holds on. That should have been pretty bad. And Dark immediately 14 drones on the way because now he knows he's safe. So what did this buy for Cure? Delayed Carapace, I guess. That's something. He killed an Evo Chamber. 13 Lings for 11 Marines and a medevac. I mean, Dark is just a miracle. Sometimes Dark is just a miracle worker sometimes. I don't understand it. I don't pretend to understand it. But anyways, mainly speed is on the way. No, Dark has, he does need to get that Carapace. He is, okay, there we go. Carapace is on the way. 4th base. Well, actually, did Dark cancel his Dark getting a second macro hatch. He is, this is not Hydra Gaming. This is Massling Bane again. Quick, maybe not quite as quick of a hive as he went for in game number 2, but stupid quick hive. And you just hold off on Ling Bane. You build a lot of it. And this is very much a style. This is very much a style that really only... There is very much a skill floor to it. It is... at the pro level, fine, absolutely. You know, players can do it as Lings are going to catch the Marines. But kind of below that, when we talk about, you know, diamond players or gold players or whatever, if you're not masters, you probably shouldn't try this style. I think realistically that the macro lift on it at keeping your money spent when you're building Ling Bane only it's important. So for now, Dark, he's on what, 7 hatches. He's got tons of Lings, tons of Banes. Hive already halfway done. He's got Burrow on the way, and maybe for Burrow Banes, maybe just to be obnoxious because he is so good with Burrow. I mean, we saw him do that last game. Burrowed Infestors, those are great, as a bunch of these Banelings are going to get found out here. Nice job there, Cure. 1 Hellbat's going to go down. Baneling, well, Widowmine, excuse me, is going to get more Lings. So there we go. And I do like the addition of Lings, or of Widowmines here coming in from Cure. He did not do it games 1 and game 2. I felt that there were certainly some opportunities where if he just had a little bit more splash like that, that's a great shot. 10 kills on the Widowmine. I cannot help but feel if he had some more kind of immediate splash like that, he probably would have been able to push through. But of course, tanks do allow you to take a more measured attack. But anyway, Hive is done. +2 attack on the way. Dark does need to get, there we go. There's Carapace. And we need to see Adrenal pretty quickly as well, because that's the entire, well, Vipers and Adrenal, the entire point of getting this quick Hive. So there we go. Adrenal glands on the way, and his Dark gets the rest of these minerals because he's mining 4,000 minerals a minute. The other benefit of going for this style is you really do not need to mine that much gas. In fact, Dark is on, I guess he is on five extractors. Okay. I thought it was less than that looking at the minimap. But anyways, Lings are now going to try to find their way forward. Great Banelings, or great Widowmine shots here as the tank's free-firing. The bio, though, is just, there just doesn't seem to be enough of it. Dark is running roughshod over Cure here in this game, even as he does have 2-2 and all those upgrades. He busts through. The tanks are going to go down. 7 SCVs go down. Cure in danger of getting supply blocked as all of his supply depots fall as well. And the Widowmines be damned. They're just not getting the damage he needs. So 8 SCVs, a supply blocked Cure. And now Dark has to run away fine, but he's got Vipers on the way. 2-2, Adrenal, Ultra Cavern. And Cure was just not ready. That's one of those things that, like, who does that? Who just does a 1-1 Ling Bane bust? Well, Dark does, apparently. And that's all that matters. But Cure now, not to be outdone, he's pressuring. Because he knows it's going to take some amount of time for Dark to be able to remax. I mean, that was a lot of Ling spent. And I don't care about the fact that there are 8 hatches on the map. It can still take a while to get enough larvae to be able to remake that. So Cure is now active. He's knocking down a lot of creep spread. The Banelings and Lings, they're going to try to find their way forward. But Marauders in the front wall, everything else gets lifted. Widowmines are going to be pretty damn fantastic, but there's no way you're going to there's no way you're going to drop down on this. Which is, it's what Cure wanted to do. You know, bait out all the Banelings, kill everything else. But he's got to give the position up. And now there we go. Pathogen glands. We saw how good the fungals were. Well, actually, it wasn't even the fungals that were the exciting part of that last game, but we saw how good the infestor play was from Dark in that previous game, and we're just getting right into it. This time with no detour for roaches. Less gas needed, so you can still mine, again, 4,000 minerals a minute. But Cure is maxed out once again. He's got 2-2. He's got armor on the Widowmines, and the friendly fire on the Widowmines is going to do so damn much here. The army of Cure just seems like it's evaporating. He's got 2-2. There's Adrenal. These Marines are falling apart, and the blind or the parasitic bombs on top of everything do a great job as well, manually detonating on the Widowmines. Well, Cure's position. He was maxed out a second ago. No longer. And now Dark is the one that's maxed out here. He's got 3 Vipers. Ultras eventually whenever he wants them. 3-3. Actually doesn't quite have the money for it just yet. But he's going to get there soon. There we go. 3-3 on the way. And Cure is just struggling to find any sort of anything on the map right now. He's got no pressure. He's killed not a single drone. Dark is only trading 4,000 resources. Resources lost worse is, oh, those parasitic bombs are massive. 2 medevacs go down. The full ones don't go down, but the ER force is split apart. They take a lot of damage here. Cracklings on top of the planetary, and that should fall here as well. Banelings on the backside. Cure is falling apart. That was an incredible game number 2, but this game 3 is just a masterclass from Dark here, where he is just producing everything. He's on, what is he, 10 hatches now? Yeah, 9 hatches. Mass producing Ling Bane. Ultras, they're going to be a thing. Eventually, we might have infestors if you need them, but the bio can't fight the Lings. And when the bio can't fight the Lings, in fact, Cure has forgotten his +3 armor. When the bio can't fight the Lings, it doesn't matter about anything else. Cure is struggling so hard to be able to recover in this game, but he's lost his 5th base. He's still on in fairness, he's still on 73 workers, but he does not have that 5th base. He's on 4. Dark has the map. And, well, not a lot of Banelings right now, but oh, the fungal from downtown is going to get so much more here. And there we go. Pair of bombs on all the medevacs. Lings are going to continue to filter on forward. And the Widowmines, I mean, they get some good shots, but It's only part of the army that's engaging at this point. Dark has all the momentum. Again, Widowmines are going to try to burrow. Great Widowmine shots. But there's just not enough. And Cure moves on. He's got a date with Oliveira or Hero in the finals of EPT Korea 168. And folks, if you got this far, that means you liked the video. Or at least I hope you did. So you should go hit that subscribe button at the bottom. I upload videos 6 days a week. Sometimes Stormgate video essays on Sundays. And also you should check me out when I stream. EBT North America, Mondays, 7 p.m. Eastern. Highlights from Europe, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. Fridays, KSL highlights, 8 p.m. And, of course, Sundays, EBT Korea highlights. And then WTL, when it happens, we'll be doing some EBT or some NA Apprentice as well. Twitch.tv/BAMWolf. You should check it out.